Welcome to Rom Wills, Money Matters. Your mindset must be one of saving money versus spending it. This is very important. Now, okay, I'm always talking about saving money. And let's be real. It's very easy to say, oh yeah, just save money. Just save money. I mean, it's easy to say it. Indeed, a lot of people whose money burns holes in their pockets or pocketbooks, right? They always say, I need to be saving money. But it's all about a mindset of spending money. Let's be real. When people spend money, a lot of money is wasted. And a lot of people spend money not based on just wanting something, but on two things: their appetites and their emotions. Appetites and emotions. Like I said, if you really look at what people spend money on outside of their home, outside of a vehicle, which is necessary. Just as an aside, they used to say, you need food, clothing, and shelter. In this world, food, clothing, shelter, and a vehicle. Yeah, of course, we got some people who don't have vehicles and stuff, but even then, they still got to use a vehicle. So put it as a necessity. But outside of that, and utilities and stuff to support the basics, we spend a lot of money on stuff we don't need. Even food. A lot of people spend money on stuff that they don't need, like food they don't really need, because of their appetites, because of their emotions. Indeed, and that goes beyond just food. When I say appetites, you could have an appetite for gambling. You could have an appetite for cigarettes or alcohol, which you really don't need. You could have an appetite for drugs, and then you might have developed that appetite based on your emotions. You could emotionally you want to do it. Even buying clothes. I'm going to tell you what, a lot of women especially, and some men, a lot of women and some men will buy clothing not because they necessarily need it, but because of their appetites, because their emotions. You get some women, they go through a bad thing, they go shopping. Or, their appetite is just to shop. To have those fly clothes and stuff. Like the shoe industry. Look, you got a lot of women who buy one pair of shoes. They'll spend like $100 on one pair of shoes. And they'll have all these shoes. And it's like, what do you need all these shoes for? Or certain things. Or, they just have an appetite for it. And it's unnecessary. Now, you could tell them, hey, you need to save some money. And they could probably know they need to save some money. People, men and women with these appetites, there's emotional spending. And yeah, men got the emotional spending too. How many men buy stuff they don't need? How many men do it? You don't really need that thing. So it's like you doing all that, but then you saying, well, how come I can't save money? Well, you're spending money on things you don't need. Now, it's easy to tell somebody, hey, don't spend money on it. Okay. Well, you can tell somebody don't use drugs. Now, they tell them that, but they don't deal with why they doing it. See, here's the thing. Your mindset, if you have the mindset of saving money, you develop it, you have to develop your willpower. You basically have to conquer your appetites and your emotions. You have to conquer. This don't mean you be a robot or anything. But you got to be able to, when you out and about, like say you're in a grocery store, you notice they have all the sweet stuff up by the, right by the checkout lines and everything. Sometimes right there on the lane, candies, everything like that. That's partly appetite, that's partly emotion. And they know what they're doing. Psychologically, they know what they're doing. They put it in that position because, you're going to make that impulse buy. In fact, they even talk about that. But what if you got control over your impulses? What if you exercise control? You say, no, I'm not buying that. I don't need that. That's when you start saving money. All of a sudden you look up, you're like, wait a minute, I got extra money. You got extra money. Or that you're not spending it big based on some emotional thing. Like you got people buying stuff based on emotions. What if you say you can check that emotions? That's not saying you become a robot, but you check that emotion. And focus, you got to focus. Your willpower got to say, do I need this? Do I need this? Now, I ain't going to lie. I've been there. I've been there spending money on things I don't need. Like, I'm going to tell you what, with me, I used to spend money on a lot of magazines just to read one article. Just to read one article, because that's just me. I'm more intellectual like that. So there's a ton of magazines I would get just to get one article. It'd be a small article too. And I was spending a lot of money there. I've actually checked that. I had to work to check that because I like the information. Now, if I get a magazine or something, if I get it for one article, it got to be like in one of those more intellectual type magazines, and it got to be on a serious subject where I just like, you know what, I need this information, a serious subject. And they also got to be something, and they also, my rule is, if I buy it for that, it got to have some other stuff in there. It got to be of an intellectual quality. So I noticed my magazine buying dropped down considerably when I started doing that. When I started doing that, I said it had to be something. I mean, it had to be something major in the magazine. It couldn't be just like on some light stuff or something like that. And I was like, because I used to have tons of magazines, because that was my thing. Shoot, that was my appetite. And I noticed once I got that under control, I was like, wait a minute. I got a lot of extra money now. I got a lot of extra money now. And that's just one thing, because like I said, the appetites could be anything. The appetites could be anything. But whatever the case, you have to, it's not just saying you got to save. You got to control what you actually spending the money on. That's the important thing. That's what you got to do. You know, and you got to have your willpower over those things, and then you'll start saving money. Even if you don't have a formal savings account, you'll say, wait a minute, I got extra money in my account now. Wait, how did this happen? You imposed your will over your appetites and your emotions. You know, you got rid of the unnecessary stuff. Because one of the things I definitely practice, when I buy something, even clothing, it got to be a necessary thing. You got to have some business thing. Like, there's a lot of clothing I buy, not because, you know, it's just some random thing. Because trust me, I got a lot of clothes. There's a lot of clothes I'll buy because I'm doing a public presentation in it. Or, you know, seriously, well, that's it. I ain't going to say or. I'm doing a public presentation because that's part of the business. To me, it's a business expense. It's a business expense. It makes more money. It's an investment. And then, of course, you know, something get worn out or something, you get some clothes then. And this is a guy who likes to dress. But I'm like, when I look at something, I'm saying, okay, how much I'm going to wear this? What am I going to do? Am I going to wear this publicly? Will this make me money? Present a certain image? Boom. So do that with everything. Do that with everything, you know? When I was looking at cars, I could have got a big fancy car. Trust me, I can afford it. I could afford like a Maserati or something like that. But do I need that? Yeah, it's like you're showing off to a certain extent. I was like, no, I don't really need that. I just need a car that works. And my car got paid off in a year. So, you know. So get control over your appetites and emotions. Impose your will on it. Ask yourself, am I buying this because I need it or just to feel good? Or just to overindulge? Because, I mean, I've seen people buy major things, and they didn't even use it. You know? Because there's an appetite, it's a want or something like that. So anyway, y'all know the deal. Let's go make that money.